So we're going to use a 1/4-inch flat tip screwdriver, a 13/16 combo wrench, a 7/8 combo wrench, and an 1 1/16 combo wrench to perform the oil service today. So we're going to start by removing the side panel to gain access to the oil drain and fill. On this series, the oil drain and fill and the oil filter are on opposite sides of the blower. I'm just going to unclip the oil lines. I'm going to start with that drain line, bring it around. I'll unclip the fill line as well, bring it over so we can work with it. Get my drain pan. Put in place right here. So I'm going to be using a 13/16 and a 7/8 wrench on the drain plug. While that's draining, I'm going to go around to the other side, get the breather removed so it drains a little faster, and then we'll get the oil filter replaced as well. So removing the side panel to gain access to our oil filter and breather. First thing I'm going to do is pull that breather out. It looks good, it's nice and purple. If it was pink or black and oily, I'd go ahead and replace it, but this one looks good, so we're going to leave it in place. So make sure you pull those tabs off all 3 holes on this guy. I'm going to set a rag down to catch drips. When I remove that oil filter, I might get a few drips. So it's an 1 1/16 on the bottom of this oil filter. So that breaks it loose, and it should come right out. So it's stuck on there a little bit. Just give it a little wiggle, it'll come out of there. Oh. Pull that guy out. Set it in my drain pan. Got a little oil in there, I'm going to drain that. We'll take a look. Make sure there's no debris inside. There's nothing in there, it's good and clean, so we're good to go on that one. So I'm going to grab my new oil filter and set it in place. Slides in there just like that. Get it back up here. So I'm just going to snug the oil filter down. Doesn't have to be super tight. Snug will do. And wipe off my oil drips. And that should do. And we'll go over to the other side and see if we're done draining. Alright, so we're done draining the oil. I'm going to put the plug back on the drain line. And then snug it up. That'll work. And put it back in its spot in this clip. Always make sure to wipe off any oil drips so we don't think we got a leak later on. So our next step is going to be to fill the oil. We're going to do that right here, the QD fitting. We're going to pull that plug out, get it out of the way, and get our oil pan off to the side here. We're using the Inovair oil service pump kit. Without struggling too much. Plug that in. I'm going to turn on my oil pump. I'm going to fill it until my oil level is about the H or the G, and then we'll call that full. So when you're filling the system using the oil service pump, it actually fills the system starting at the oil pump, and it runs through the oil cooler, the oil filter. So when you see your oil level coming up here on the sight glass like we do now, you know your oil system is completely full. There's no need to bleed out any air pockets or anything like that. So you can see the oil levels coming up. We're almost at that H. So that right about there, that's where I'm going to turn it off. And our oil level will come up just a little bit more, and that's perfectly fine. You don't necessarily have to take it all the way to that full line. We typically recommend to leave about a 1/4 inch gap from the top of that full line. Disconnecting the oil service pump. Sometimes you'll have a bit of oil inside that fitting. Go ahead and dry that out. Put the plug on, reinstall it back into the clip. That's all there is to it.